Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're here and we are filming a reading wrap-up for January and February. I decided to combine January and February because, like, first off, in January I read only like 4.5-ish books, and the thing is, one of the books was an audiobook, and I just felt like January was not a good month and I wasn't feeling like filming at all. So I didn't. And then I was like, why wouldn't it be more fun to have like reading wrap-ups every 2 months instead, and having more books to talk about? And I was like, that's so much more fun, let me do that. So we're doing this now. So meaning there will be no reading wrap-up in March, but there will be one in April. So we're excited for that. Yeah, so the other thing is I keep procrastinating on reading wrap-ups. So that's why this one is being filmed March 2nd. I have to edit it today, tomorrow, or Saturday so that I can latest post it on Sunday. So I'm still trying to figure out the whole, like, after filming you have to edit and it actually has to look somewhat good. So yeah, anyways guys, should I just jump right in? Let me just tell you guys how many books I read. So in January I read like 4.5-ish books, and in February, I cannot pronounce February. I don't know why. I grew up speaking English and February always sounds weird. So I read 8.5 books, 1 audiobook, and 1 was like a little novella, fun fact, as an overall. So overall we're at like, what did I say how many books were in January? I don't remember. 4.5? Did I say 4.5? Did I? Okay, so let's say 13 books because I do not care. What was I saying? I don't remember. Anyways, February was very heavy on romance. Not rom-com, but like the romance with trauma. Because we like getting information. So it was a good month. My older sister got a lot of messages with me asking about specific sicknesses, also illnesses, or medications or drugs, so that I can actually, because I see a word on paper and I feel the urge to research the actual I don't know what out of it. Like I want to know everything about a word. It's literally a word on paper. So I researched illnesses, I researched drugs, I researched medications, and it was very interesting. I think it's helping my bio. We're excited for our bio AS exams, I guess. Yeah, let's jump into our what's going on today? Let's just jump into our first book, 5 Survive, Holly Jackson. Need I say more? Flopping 5 stars, loved it. Would have given this 10 stars because I was hooked from the beginning. Like I was like, no, we're done. Do you know when a book is so good you want to be in the book? Honestly guys, no normal person should want to be inside this book. But coping mechanisms, I was literally pulled into the book. And so there's going to be a theme in this book with Holly Jackson, because at the end of the book I was bawling my eyes out for no apparent reason. I couldn't stop crying, and it was like 1 a.m. in the morning. I think, was it a school day the next morning? I think so. Yeah, it was Sunday evening, so Monday morning. Monday is school, so I was bawling my ass out. 1 a.m. Monday morning. I was done with life, done with everything. Amazing book. I loved Red, which I think is like the main character of the book. I love the way Holly Jackson wrote her story. The story or her past was just kind of unfolding through the pages, and it was absolutely beautiful. The concept of the story, even, I do not know how you even get the idea of writing something like this, but it had me hooked and I loved it, and I recommend it to everyone. Like, even if you don't like thrillers, you have to like this. Like, I'm gonna start putting this as my test to be my friend. You know what? Read this, and if you like it, you're gonna be my friend. Should I do that? The only thing I hated about this book was one specific person. I was done. So the concept of the story, they're all in a van. They're going, I think it's their spring break, and they're all taking the van to go there. They wanted to take the flight, but the plane, sorry. But the thing is, Red doesn't really have the money, so they decided, okay, let's turn this into a road trip. They get lost in the woods, and then someone starts shooting them with a sniper and is trying to get a secret out of them. But I loved the book. I read this January 12th to 14th, so 2 days. I still want to reread this every single day. Like today I was reading What If We Drown, amazing book. We'll talk about this in March. And I love What If We Drown. It's an amazing book. But before I picked this up yesterday, I was like, should I just reread this? And then I was like, see, people already think I'm crazy for rereading all my books so often. So you can't reread this after literally a month. It's not healthy. Like, it's a new obsession you're starting, Rosie. You need to stop. Rosalind, no. We were on a roll with my thrillers, so we got Holly Jackson, A Murder Mystery. It's As Good as Dead. It's the last book of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. And this was my favorite book of this series. Another flopping 5 stars. Last pages have me bawling again. So I don't know if I want to say anything to this. Read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Honestly, this is the guide to murder. So A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first book, and then the second book, Good Girl, Bad Blood. Those two are amazing, but those two aren't the guide to murder. This one is. It literally touched me so much, the way Pippa, who is the main character of this book, went through so much, and Ravi Singh, who is the other character of the book, her boyfriend, literally tried to help her so much. So Pippa and Ravi, in the first book, they get together to solve the murder of Saul Singh. That's his brother, sorry. The murder of Saul Singh and the murder of Andy Bell, because Saul Singh did allegedly kill Andy Bell, who was his girlfriend, and stuff like that, and Pippa was convinced that he didn't. So they solved that murder. Then they solved another murder in the second book, and in this book, so they now have a podcast and everything and blah blah blah, and stuff goes down here where I was like, what on earth? What is this? I was done. The murder that they were solving, I was scared. The book had me in such a chokehold. I'm gonna put this away because 11 minutes have passed and I've only talked about 2 books. What I want to say, both of these books, I honestly recommend it. Read the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. If you don't like the first book that much, understandable. First books of series are usually a little weaker, but in my opinion, I didn't like the second book as much as I liked the first book, as much as I liked the third book. But all of the books were freaking amazing. Jessa Hastings, your books are beautiful. Just blend in a picture or anything. Magnolia Parks, the most toxic relationship I have ever read about, giving me major Chuck and Blair vibes. It gives me major Gossip Girl vibes in general, and what I really liked about this book was Magnolia's sister. Cutest little bean out there. She reminds me way too much of my own sister because she likes to talk and tell you everything that you're doing wrong. Is she usually right? Yes. Do I care about your opinion right now? No. But I loved her sister. I don't know why. I need a book about her sister. I just do need a book about her sister. So I don't remember if it's a book about her sister that's coming out or not. I thought I heard something. I thought I heard a birdie, but I'm not sure. Don't take my word for it, please. But Jessa Hastings, if you're seeing this, please, could I have a book about Magnolia's sister? Because I need it. I feel like this book still leaves me with so many questions. I have the other book of Magnolia Parks on my TBR. And currently, I also started Daisy Hate, but somehow I cannot get back into the Magnolia Parks universe because I need time to, recover from this. Because I was so happy, like here, and then this happened, and I was crying. I gave this, I think, 4 stars. It was very amazing. I really liked it, but it wasn't my favorite. I think it was between 3.75 stars and 4 stars because I couldn't get through it as fast as I normally would, and I don't know why. But as you see, I did underline quite some stuff, so it wasn't that bad. I really liked it. If you like Gossip Girl, I honestly recommend this to you. I feel like this series will be like any other series, that the first book is very good and then the second book just hooks you. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with this one. I listened to an audiobook called Meet Cute, The Meet Cute Method by Portia Macintosh. And it was just something I tried to do because I felt like after Magnolia Parks, I was kind of in a reading slump. I didn't want to read anything. I didn't want to see words on papers. So I was like, I don't know, you know what, let's try this audiobook thing. And it was actually really good. It was a rom-com. I kind of regret already having listened to it because I feel like this would have been perfect for summer vacay. Honestly, this would have been so fitting. So kind of sad about that, but it was okay. Gave it 3 stars because it's a rom-com. I like rom-coms, but I don't feel like they're so amazing. They're just very easy to read and they're just fun. They're just fun little books. So 3 stars. Gave this one 4 stars. It's about Rosie and Adam. Rosie has, fun fact, her name is Rosie. Y'all, do you get it? I was so excited to read about her. So Rosie has a web radio show where she has artists come on that she actually really likes and then talks to them and interviews them. And she interviews this band, and Adam, also called the Beast, is the drummer of the band, and he had an incident a few years ago, and that's why he doesn't like being touched, and he just doesn't like being close to anyone, and he literally drinks his pain away. So he's drunk so often, and something happens at their interview where Rosie then touches Adam on instinct, and it just goes viral, and the fans of his band go insane, and they start kind of bullying Rosie and stuff just goes down, and he then tries to make everything go well. They get very close, they kind of start up a relationship, and then he has kind of, I don't know, a revelation, and the whole thing just like, yeah, and everything's over. Book ends on a freaking cliffhanger, and I was like, you cannot leave me sitting in this pain. Amazing book. Gave this one 4 stars. The second book is even more amazing than the first one. So, but if you're German, because it's a German book, if you're German and you like romance books with heavy topics, this duology, masterpiece, honestly. This book was amazing. 5 stars. And this one is more about Rosie's mental health than Adam's. And this time kind of the roles switched. So I feel like Adam was trying to help Rosie at this point instead of Rosie trying to help Adam. And I just found it beautiful how he also even gave her space, but he did let her know that he's still there. And I feel like that's so important. Like giving a person space and literally leaving the person alone are 2 different things. Giving the person space is you take a step back, but you let them know that if anything happens, you're there. Leaving a person is just leaving them out cold, and they're like, yeah, no contact, nothing. So, very interesting. Love this book. I want to reread this one already. And also, look at the covers. Aren't they beautiful? Like, I got the spines colorful, and then this one even fits. Oh, this fits. Beautiful. Love it. Anyways, the covers are beautiful. I love it. See, January and February were amazing months. I think I loved everything I read, honestly. Next we have King of Rat by Ana Huang. It was pretty interesting. I like Ana Huang because they're so easy to read. I like Ana Huang, but she's not my favorite author, and I just got it because it's so freaking easy to read. But the smut in here, I don't know. It was good. Gave it like 3 stars though. It was okay. It's another German book. So she is the daughter of the mayor, and she lives like in the Chicago high society. She's 22 years old, and she is engaged. I do not. I literally when I saw her fiance's interaction the first time, I was like, I do not like her fiance, and she is studying I think criminology. I don't know how to pronounce it. And she has to do an interview for, I think, her final thesis it was, and that's why she goes in and she's interviewing a guy, and it's interesting. He's a special guy because he usually doesn't talk to anyone, but he agreed to let her interview him, and it was very interesting. Things start to, you know, come up, and she is struggling with the part that she has never been herself, and that she just has to kind of comply to being this perfect daughter for the media, for her dad, and her mom is dead. I feel like that's important. Her mom died when what happened is, I'm not gonna tell you how her mom died, but it's interesting. If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. I read this because of Sarah Caroli. She really loved this. I didn't. It was a good book. I don't know why I didn't like it. I just couldn't. I don't know. Like, the story was beautiful, the writing was beautiful, but I think the fact that I knew that he'd, you know, that something would happen to him kind of took the happiness away of this book. I know it's a sad book. I'm aware. I don't know why I didn't like. Usually I don't care about people dying, like the main character dying. I do not care, but usually I'm like, oh, he died. That's very sad. I'll cry, of course. But with this one, I was like, I don't want to know all this because it was so much about her friends and stuff, and I didn't like her friends. I didn't like her being in a group. I feel like if the communication would have been settled in these pages, then this all wouldn't have to happen. And it was just very, very, very annoying for some reason. But I want to read Finney's POV as well before, like, giving my opinion fully. But this one was like 3.75 stars because I did still like it. 3.5. Let's say 3.5 stars. I did still like it, but like wasn't my favorite. If you know me, I love Mia Sheridan. I give it freaking 5 stars. It's about Crystal and Gabriel, and Gabriel was kidnapped as a kid, and he was kept for I think 6 years in like in the basement. And of course he struggles with some stuff. He struggles with physical touch, and Crystal's grew up with her mom, and then her dad had to take over. And because of what happened, because her growing up with her dad and not having a very good childhood, she just mistrusts men in general. And they meet and they have an instant connection for some reason. I do not really like the instant, not the instant connection, but like the instant fall in love. That's why I prefer books like this where she mistrusts him still, like she doesn't get what he is trying to do, and even like what he actually wanted from her, like the help he wanted from her, and what she expected him to want is so different, and it was just very interesting, and I really liked the book. And again, it was a romance with a very heavy topic, and stuff happens towards like the middle of the book, or like almost the ending of the book, where I was like, oh my god, is this happening again? And I was like, oh, it's painful, but you know, again. And here I feel like there was another point where she needed space and he gave her the space, and it was just beautiful. And you could still see that she cared so much, even though she was like, I need space, and if you want to move on, move on. And I was like, beautiful. Then I read, by the way, I read most of all you on my Tolino. That's why I didn't show the book. Then I read Below Zero by Ali Hazelwood. I don't have an opinion on the book because I knew I wouldn't like a book. I really just wanted to read a novella to get back into reading because I was in a reading slump of 3 days. But I was like, I need to read something, and I read it, and I read it in the span of a day. It was interesting, nothing special. If you know Ali Hazelwood, you know what her books are about. I have another Mia Sheridan book. It's More Than Words. I love Mia Sheridan. So let's get back into it. It's More Than Words, and it's about Callan Hayes and Jessica. Jessica and Callan meet when they're 11, and then Callan at one point disappears, And Jessica actually, when they met, she showed him how to play piano, and he disappears, and then he gets famous for being a pianist, and they meet again. Loved it. I don't want to get, because I feel like with Mia Sheridan books as well, if I get too much into it, I'm gonna tell you guys what happened exactly, and I don't want to do that. So this one also got another 4.75 stars on Goodreads. Of course, that's the 5 stars. But honestly, guys, can we get Goodreads to give us 0.5 and 0.75 and 0.25 stars? Because it's very annoying that we're not able to do that. Because, like, sorry, 4.75 and 4.5 are two different things. Where am I gonna put it? You know what I'm saying? So we need that to change. So then lastly, what I read was this the last thing I read? Oh yeah, February only has 28 days, I'm sorry. I read Things We Hide from the Light, which is the new book by Lucy Scores. It was so interesting. I think I have the review on Goodreads here. I gave it 5 stars, by the way, because it had me hooked. This one is another 4.75, 4.5 stars, but on Goodreads, as always, 5 stars. Honestly, my highlight of this book was the shootout towards the end. The epilogue of this book was beautiful. I was in pain. I was in pain during the wedding, honestly. I cannot wait for Lucian and Sloane's book, because I feel that one would just like shoot through the roof. Like, I'm so excited for it. Exactly. The book was amazing. I liked that we could really look into the head of our chief and what he was actually going through, because in Things We Never Got Over, the chief actually gets shot twice. So he's struggling, and he has so much anxiety, and he struggles from panic attacks. And then our dearest Lena moves into the same apartment complex because the brother of the chief, who's called Knox, if you know him from the first book, actually owns, I think, the apartment complex, and gives Lena a book. And Lena and the chief immediately have a very strong attraction to each other, and Lena helps him through his panic attacks, and he then learns what Lena went through in the past as well, and they're just kind of unfolding their past and trying to work through it, and it's very interesting, and I really, 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 really loved it. And I really love the covers of Lucy Score's books. Like, look at this one. Look at this one. Beautiful. And then lastly, I started the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Got it from my dad. Yeah, I decided to have like at least one self-help book each month. I started this last week, so this is my self-help book of March. I also have a few books that I just read before sleeping, which are on my table, but I don't really count them to my reading score because they're self-help books. But like books like this from John Maxwell and stuff do count because I love them. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I think it was enough chitter-chatter for today, because I've been sitting here for 33 minutes. Am I gonna have to cut out a lot of this? Yeah, but that was actually the goal of having like reading wrap-ups only every second month, because I was like, I want to talk. I want to like have an interaction with myself. But you know what? I liked it. I really did. I really did. And I remember how much I loved the books. And I felt like Five Survive was like 4 months ago, but it was literally like 2 months ago. Not even. Anyways, guys, I think we're done for today. I'm gonna end this video. I'm still thinking about, because of me filming a reading wrap-up only every second month, I feel like every other month I have to film another video bi-monthly. So in March, I'm trying to find out what video to film instead of a reading wrap-up, and I'm actually considering another songs that remind me of books. But I don't know if that makes any sense, because I felt like that's more like a 6-month thing. So we are contemplating on what my standard video will be. I'm brainstorming and trying to find out. I'm trying to find ideas. I cannot find ideas right now. I'm struggling, but we're gonna get there. We are gonna get there. Trying to film more regularly. I really like vlogs, but for some reason all my vlogs have been so weird. I'm vlogging today actually, and it has also been very weird because like I struggle to film in public. I don't know why. I get so like, oh, I don't want to film in public. Everyone's gonna see me. I can't even take pictures in public. So, you know, especially when I'm alone, I really struggle. But I have plans for a few for a few movies. No, for a few vlogs. But first of all, I need time, and I want to vlog with a few of my friends because we have a few things planned. Actually, I'm really looking forward to everything, and we're gonna see how this YouTube is gonna evolve. Yeah, guys, we are done. Oh, fun fact, I started a bookstagram January 21st, and I have been loving it. Y'all, bookstagram has the most amazing community ever. The people on there, so supportive. Love it to the max. My book recommendations, I get there, amazing. And honestly, funny thing, me filming this video talking about Five Survive and As Good as Dead yesterday and the day before that, I was just literally raving about As Good as Dead to I think it was Laura. Yeah, Laura's Library. I'm gonna put her at here. She's amazing. I don't know her very well. That's why I was like, oh, should I really like go off like this about the book? And she's like, maybe she doesn't even like me. And I was like, you know what? Who cares? Who cares? I like talking about books. You have a bookstagram. We're gonna talk. And I've just had a very cute conversation with so many different people on here, and I love it. And I don't want to stop. I love bookstagram. Yeah. I'm gonna put my bookstagram here. It's still very small. We're learning. We live, we learn. But we're gonna see where it's gonna take us. Yeah, guys, I guess that's it for today, honestly. Hope you guys have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. And yeah, if you have any recommendations for books, please put them into the comment section. If you have anything else you feel the need to tell me, put it into the comment section or DM me directly on my bookstagram, which will be in the description box because I love it. Yeah, and we'll see each other over there, or we'll see each other in my next YouTube video. Anyways, guys, have an amazing day. Bye, guys.